Right, here we are. Football Feast extra time podcast with myself and Tommy. See you wearing the England shirt for the old England special today then.
To be done, doesn't it? I see
Should be a
you've
good one as well.
gone for a different route.
Yeah, well, you've got to show your colours. Got to show them at all times. But yeah, so today it is going to be the golden generation. So we're talking Beckham, Lampard, Gerrard, Rio, Terry, Cole, Neville, Owen. List goes on.
Yeah.
Combined 11 with the current era. So literally who's playing right now, who's in the squad right now. And we're going to have 5 from each.
At least, yeah.
At least 5 from each. Just to make it a bit even. It would have been a thingy to see actually who got in, even if it wasn't combined, because maybe a couple still would have made it.
I think, yeah. I know a lot of people are going to think, you do things for hits, but I think some of mine are going to be not like overly controversial, but probably like that's surprising that you stuck them in there.
Yeah, it's tough, this one, because obviously the golden generation was the golden generation of just outrageous talent. Outrageous, but
yeah.
never done anything.
So, tad spoiler, nothing too much, but I've actually got more from the current generation than
Jesus.
the golden generation. So, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't myself. I'll be honest, I've gone with a 6 for the golden and 5 for the current. Little spoilers before we start. But we go on with our goalkeeper. I'll go first if you want on this one.
Yep. Yeah.
I've gone Picks. I thought it was an obvious choice.
I've gone Pickles as well.
And I've seen quite a few of these knocking around social media. Everyone picking their golden versus current. And 90% of the teams have got Pickford in. Because one, I think you maybe want to leave one of them outfield spaces open for a Gerrard or a Lampard or a Beckham or an Owen or a Rooney. And yeah, I thought similar kind of thinking. I had to go with Pickford and goal.
Again, I think it's kind of like what golden generation you kind of go in from. I think if we were doing the golden generation with, say, Sol Campbell and David Seaman and stuff, I think David Seaman takes that spot every day. But as he's going up against David James, decent goalkeeper. But Pickles takes it for me, I think, that one.
Yeah, he's going up against the likes of like David Jones and Paul Robinson.
Yeah.
And I think he's better. People can slag him off all they want. I know me and Baron have our little to and fro between Ramsdale and Pickford. It's all a bit of a laugh, but he's so good for England, and there's just no denying it. He proved the other day again why he's England number 1.
He does let mistakes happen, but show me a goalkeeper that never has made a mistake. Like, even the top keepers
also,
now.
show me one he's done for England.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Pickford. So
he could have done no more in that Euro final. He could have done no more than what he done. Colombia in the quarter final. No, sorry, the second round, wasn't it? Knockouts.
Yeah, and it's as much as people say now, we've got Ramsdale, we've got Pickford, we've got Sam Johnston. You've got to pick Pickford every time.
I'll be honest, if people are still thinking Pickford isn't the best goalkeeper for England right now, they ain't watching football. They just ain't watching it. If people honestly believe that, I think he's starting to come around now, because I saw quite a lot on social media saying like Pickford's obviously the number 1. People don't like him. I think that's a problem.
But it's the fact that they're also putting Ramsdale in number 2. I was like, Ramsdale's not number 2. I was like, for me, it would be Nick Pope. But he can't kick a ball.
Yeah, I'm not just saying this because obviously I'm a Sunderland fan. He plays for Newcastle, but I've never rated him. Decent shot stopper.
I like Pope.
That's all he's
obviously
got.
I'm gonna like Pope. He used to play for Charlton, so. But yeah, he can't kick a ball. I think he's a good shot stopper, but he's not at that level to be number 1. Not for England.
And was number one. That's why he got in my spot for this golden generation versus current era. Starting 11, so we've both started off in old Pickers in goal.
Well, Pickles, yep.
Right, so right back, probably gone for the same era as well. I wanted to stick old Gary Neville in there because I do like him. I like him better now he's a pundit than he is than I did as a football player. I hated him when he played football.
Yeah,
Can't walk all day, every day.
But yeah, I think even if you're doing it as just best right backs to ever play football, Carl Walker comes above Gary Neville every single time. He comes above most. Not even just for England, he comes above most for one of the best right backs of all time, personally for me. And I think that was one of the easier spots to fill.
Oh, 100%. 100%. And as will be the left back, I'm guessing.
The left back. I think I've said it on many podcasts before that. I personally, after Maldini, I think he's the best left back to ever play. And it's Ashley Cole. I'm assuming you've got the same.
Yeah, so we both started off with our goalkeeper and our right back and left back, both exactly the same. It was the easiest picks on a pitch, I think, for me.
Yeah, I think they were the first three names on the sheet, to be fair.
Yeah. So I'll go with both my centre backs, and then you can give us yours. But so my first one, I've gone for Golden Generation, and I've gone for John Terry. Fought for England. He played like every one of us want every single English player to play, just with pure heart and determination. That's John Terry. That's how he played for Chelsea. But yeah, he had to be in there. Had to be. And my second one, John Stones. Another quite simple. I must admit, I wrote this out in a couple of seconds. Yeah, my two. Stones, I think it's a. I wouldn't say he's better than Rio Ferdinand. I wouldn't say that. But surely we got to start having a conversation of John Stones is one of the best centre backs to have played in the Prem. Like if we're saying Rio Ferdinand is, if we're saying John Terry is, Stones is a good defender. So much better on the ball than them two, by a million miles. Better passer, less mistakes, I think, than Rio. I think Rio had a lot of mistakes in his locker, but was quick, so could cover himself. I think Stones is world class, absolutely world class.
So my two centre backs are John Terry and John Stones.
We're going to have the same team.
So John Terry, I think it just says it all. I think if you want any centre back to be wearing that England shirt from any era, it's John Terry. The heart, soul, and passion that guy has. Literally would throw his body on the line. He had to be in there. John Stones, I completely agree. I think he is world class. I think he's massively overlooked. The fact, obviously, that he's at Man City, and he has to play alongside Diaz, and now you've got Kanji in there as well. I don't think he gets given enough credit for the job that he actually does. And like you said, going forward and being on the ball, like in possession of the ball, I think he is probably one of, if not the, at the minute, best centre back on the ball.
There may not be a better centre back on the ball than John Stones. Like the guy's playing when he was fit, just before his injury, Pep was basically playing him centre mid. He's that good on the ball.
Yeah,
and I can't remember many centre backs going into that role. David Luiz was great technically on the ball, probably better technically on the ball than he was a defender, David Luiz. But I can't think of many centre backs that have made that into centre midfield. I've seen a couple go back, like Eric Dyer was that bad in centre midfield. He just chucked him as a centre back, and then he's terrible there as well. But not many centre backs progress up the pitch like he does.
No. And the thing is, like we all know the current England squad. We've all got our ideas on what the 11 should be. But if you're Gareth Southgate, there's three players that should always be in that lineup at the minute. And that is Harry Kane, should be the first one on the list, Jude Bellingham, John Stones. That's your spine.
I'll chuck Pickford in there as well myself, but
that's the spine of the team right there. Stones, Bellingham, Kane.
Yeah. Yeah. So at the moment we have the exact same squad, exact same goalkeeper and defence. We'll go into our midfield because I think probably this is where it differs. I've got 2 central and 1 just in front of them as an attacker. But I'll go with shall I go with my 3 first, and then you can have your 3?
Yeah. Go.
Yeah. So I have gone with Bellingham as one of mine. It's probably a bit mad to be sticking him in this combined 11 of golden gen versus current era players when you're talking you got Scholes, Lampard and Gerrard, and I'm sticking Jude Bellingham in there. And I think we need to calm down a bit about this. I saw a thing the other day saying he's the best centre midfielder on the planet right this second. We need to chill out just a bit. We're just doing the old English hyping again. Unbelievable player. Will be the best in the world. The guy's got Ballon d'Ors in his future. Guy's an England captain in the future. And when we pick our top 5 players of English players of all time in 10 years, he might probably be at the top. He's that good. But he's young. Let's not go mental. Just chill out. Let him enjoy his football. Because what he done to Italy the other day,
It tore him apart.
he absolutely battered him. The breakaway for the Rashford goal, just smashed him, obliterated him. And I think I saw something earlier. He's got 10 in 10 for Real Madrid, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even think he was attacking midfielder. I thought he was like a...
He's a centre mid, isn't he?
Yeah, the guy scored 10 goals in 10 games. And I think the player of the matches as well. I think he's won every player of the match he's played in, bar 2, I think. Something this season, something like that.
It's just his all-round game, isn't it? He's got everything you want from a midfielder. He can hold his position well. He can get forward. He can get back. He's got assists. He's got goals. He's got everything you want from a centre mid.
Are we looking at a Job and Jube Real Madrid / England partnership in years to come?
To be fair, as far as chemistry goes, they've probably got it 100%.
Yeah. Well, I'll go with my other 2 because it's going to cause controversy again. You know what happened the last time I said something about Steven Gerrard? But he hasn't made my side. He hasn't made it. Maybe he would have done if there wasn't the rule of 5. There at least had to be 5. But I've gone for Paul Scholes next to Jude Bellingham. I think they'd complement each other so well. Like if they played together, Bellingham could do all the leggy work. Plus, he's also an unbelievable player. Scholes kind of drifting, playing ridiculous passes through the lines, out wide. It'd just be unreal next to Bellingham. Them 2 would be great. And I've gone for Frank Lampard just in front of him because with goal scoring midfielders there is none better than old Frank the Tank. So that's my 3: Bellingham, Scholes, Lamps.
I can't argue with that. Frank was also one of the ones straight on my team sheet. As you know, he's probably the first player I've got on the back of my shirt, England shirt, Lampard number 8.
I would know that, being your brother.
I don't think, when it comes to the debate of Scholes, Gerrard, Lampard, for me, if Lampard is involved in that, there is no debate. There isn't one. He is one of the best midfielders to play in the Premier League. Well, we said, he's 6th top goal scorer in the Premier League.
I don't believe he's technically as gifted as the other 2. He's probably not even technically gifted as Bellingham, Scholes or Gerrard, but as a football player, he's better.
That centre midfield role. Right, you don't need to be that technically gifted to do that job well.
Not the role that Lamps does, no. You just have to know what you're doing, obviously.
Yeah. And I also stuck Bellingham in there. for the exact same reasons that you gave. Like, I think, yeah, we do. I know it's easy to get into our heads that we've got such a world-class player in our midst. You know, we got Kane, we've got Foden, who's on the edge of it. You know, we probably, being Welsh, we missed out on Gareth Bale. We probably would have been the next big, you know, world superstar of a player for England. And I think that is Bellingham. That is going to be Bellingham. Just absolutely unbelievable player. So Bellingham's in there. My third one, I've gone for Paul Scholes.
Oh my God, we're actually going to have the exact same team.
So Paul Scholes, just technically, just like you said, alongside Bellingham, Scholes, Lampard, Gerrard didn't work together. It was never going to work together. But if you put Scholes, Lampard, and Bellingham in there, I think, like you said, that just complements them so much more. Just having that little bit extra that Bellingham gives. So yeah, I've got Lampard, Scholes, Bellingham.
I felt sorry for Scholes during this golden era of English players, because the guy was. If you ask any real, like, actual manager, anyone that's played football, most would say Scholes is the best out of the three. Technically unbelievable. Anyone that's played with him, anyone that's played against him will tell you he's an unbelievable player. Barcelona used to study. They used to get their players to study Paul Scholes. That's how good he was. And he was stuck on the left. If we had just... If only like 4-4-2 football wasn't a thing at that point. Because that's what he was, wasn't it? Was England was 4-4-2 and that was it. Imagine if we had just tweaked it a little bit and had the 4-3-3 and had the three of them in the middle.
Yeah, things could have been so much different with that team.
Yeah, might be sitting here as World Cup winners. Well, in our lives, we have won it. Right. So this is where it gets a bit thingy, because I've seen this quite a lot. Right midfielder. I've seen it quite a lot on social media. People, like I said, people picking this team, and they've got Bukayo Saka, right mid or right wing. No. Just absolutely not. Is he anywhere near the level of David Beckham? I'm not having it. He's not. And if anyone can actually pick an England team and have Saka over David Beckham, I'm not having it. David Beckham's a right winger, right midfielder.
I've got David
Much
Beckham.
better player than Saka. He would be the captain in the sides. He is England.
I think, like we spoke about it previously when we done our top five, that Beckham gets this rep for being overrated. But when you hear people's opinions of him, I think it's the complete opposite. I think he's so underrated as a player. Obviously, his name's out there as, you know, he's a big name, David Beckham, but his actual quality of play and his style of play is so underrated. That guy wasn't just, you know, a good crosser of the ball. He couldn't just ping a good free kick. That guy got stuck in. Like, he could run, he could tackle, he could do what you needed him to do for a right midfielder, and he was fucking good at it. So fucking good at it.
If we get a few minutes at the end, we'll have a little chat about David Beckham, because a couple more things I want to say, but I totally agree. Because of the star that he is, I think everyone forgets how good he was at football. I think he's massively underrated as a football player. I mean, the guy had won everything at the age of, what, 22, 23? Apart from, obviously, internationally, but none of them did. And, yeah, had to be in there for me. Had to be.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone that's got Saka over Beckham, have a look at yourself.
It's insane.
Left wing. Saying that, I'm probably going to be shit on here because I haven't gone Joe Cole. One, because I needed to get my 5 current era players in. So I haven't gone Joe Cole. I've gone Foden. And this might get...
Foden.
We're actually got the same team. The only thing that might differ is a striker. As a talent, I ain't seen many like him play for England. You've had Wayne Rooney, you've had Paul Gascoigne, you had Foden, you got Bellingham coming through. If Foden can just really kick on, like, I just don't know what. It's a bit frustrating because the guy has got all the talent in the world, absolutely all of it.
He's the most technically gifted person in that team, probably in the Premier
But
League.
something just seems to be stopping him from getting to that next level. The guy should be competing with the best in the world. Bellingham shouldn't be overshadowing Phil Foden. No one should be. He's that good. But there just seems to be something. Like, I'm a massive, massive, massive Foden fan. For anyone who watches the show knows that. But there's just something. It's getting frustrating for me because there's just something just stopping him from getting to that absolutely world-class elite level.
No, I agree. The thing is, like, I think he is the most technically gifted player we've had since Gaza. But, you know, Gaza didn't hit his peak because of his, you know, his mentality, his personal life. From what I can see, Foden's got a good mentality. You know, he said, like, he'll stay on the training field and just practice and practice and practice. He just loves the game. So, like you said, there's something stopping him, something holding him back from actually releasing his full potential. And if he was to reach it, yeah, he'll be playing for Barca, he'll be playing for Real Madrid, he'll be playing for one of them, 100%.
I know Pep likes to tinker, does he? He likes to put these people in these positions. I'm not going to tell Pep what to do, obviously, but in my opinion, Foden needs he needs a position.
Mm-hmm.
So 1 week he's on the left, 1 week he's in the centre, 1 week he's on the right. Just have him. Foden, for me, is not a winger.
No, he's already said he likes playing through the middle, doesn't he?
Playing through the middle. A Bellingham, Rice, Foden. Imagine that. Bellingham, Rice in the middle. Foden just roaming. He can go out wide, he can come in, he can go beyond the striker, he can stay just behind the striker. Just let him do whatever the hell he wants in that role. Just let him drift and things will happen. A bit like Gaza used to do.
The thing is, you know, saying that, do you think it'd be more beneficial for Foden to get a transfer away from Man City? Because is Pep gonna? But then again, is he waiting? You know, I'm not saying is he personally waiting, but when Pep finally does leave, a new manager comes in, potentially gives him that freedom, the freedom that he wants.
It's tough, ain't it? I mean, you
Is
can't
it
ask
Pep
players to
holding him
leave.
back? Is it Pep holding
No.
him? But then again,
See, in a way, you probably could say, yeah, because he is in and out of the team. Sometimes he's on the right, sometimes he's on the left, sometimes he's through the middle. We played a couple of seasons ago, didn't he, when Aguero was out as a striker for most of the season. Him and De Bruyne kept switching who was going to be the striker that week. He's that good, he can play in all the positions. But I think he's going to have more focus and he'll realise his actual full potential and he can become elite. Just playing through the middle. There might be the odd game where he's not great. Just stick with him, playing through the middle. I guarantee if he had half a season through the middle with the field, he'd be one of the best players on the planet.
100%.
So, should we get on to our striker? Are we going to have the exact same combined 11? I'm not sure we will, because I think you've picked a current.
I picked more current than Golden Generation, whereas you picked more Golden Generation. So I think I'm pretty confident I know who you've got, and I'm pretty sure you're confident you know who I've got. So
Yeah,
let's hear
I
names
have
and reasons.
gone for Wayne Rooney. And probably going to get a lot of stick because I've left England's greatest ever goal scorer out of my side. I've left England's greatest ever goal scorer out of the goal scoring position. But Wayne Rooney, I've got no words for the guy. He was absolutely unbelievable. Like I said, apart from Gaza maybe, he's the best English player, football-wise, talented-wise, easily. It's Wayne Rooney. Unbelievable player. Ridiculous talent. He didn't really do it for England, did he? Like, he got on a bit of stick because
there's a lot of players that
he was never
haven't, so I don't. Yeah, I don't.
he was never great at tournaments and stuff. But what a player! And yeah, he had to be in for me.
See, you're saying that, and I thought my decision. I picked Harry Kane, obviously. I'm not going to pick Dominic Calvert-Lewin or anything. I've picked Harry Kane, but even though he's England's top goal scorer, I thought that decision was going to be the controversial one, just because of the player that Wayne Rooney is. Although he didn't do it at the international tournaments, that guy is unbelievable. But my reasons for picking Harry Kane is not just because he's England's all-time top goal scorer, but it's the team that I've set up. If you're playing Beckham on the right, you're playing Foden on the left. If you've got Beckham, Foden, Rooney, goals. Beckham, Foden, Kane, blitzing everyone.
Imagine how many goals Kane would score with David Beckham just putting it on his head every single time.
Absolutely. But that's the reason I've gone for Kane. I was like, if you're going to stick Rooney or Kane, I was going to go for Rooney. He was going to be there. But I was like, if I've got Foden, I've got Beckham. If I want someone in the middle of that, I want Harry Kane.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair enough. It was one of the two, weren't it? I did think Michael Owen for a little while because that guy was absolutely incredible, especially in his younger days. But
Ollie Watkins was on the list for a little bit.
Oh, Jesus. But, right, so that's our teams. We will stick him on the old TikTok.
I was going to say, what about tomorrow? Manager, but you've got Sven or Southgate.
You know what? You'd probably have to go Southgate, wouldn't you?
I think you'd have to. I don't like him. I know there's a lot of people that do. I've got nothing personally against the guy, but it's his style of play, going against his own rules. I don't got a problem with some of the decisions he makes in terms of, say, like Harry Maguire, but you can't say one thing and do another. You can't say, you're going to pick people on performance and then, pick people that ain't playing. But
I think, right, I know everyone's Southgate out, fair enough. There's better out there. I think if we had a world-class manager, we would have won the Euros, possibly even would have won the World Cup. But I done my team the other day, who I would start, and I had Harry Maguire. I'm not afraid to say it. If people want Lewis Dunk to start for England in a World Cup or a Euros, we are not going to win shit with Lewis Dunk as a centre-back. Everyone's going mad about James Ward-Prowse. If James Ward-Prowse is a starter for England, we ain't going to win shit.
We're better off. It's no different to the team when we had Danny Welbeck, Daniel Sturridge, and Adam Lallana. It's
James Ward-Prowse is having a good season for West Ham. But I'm telling you right now, if James Ward-Prowse is a starting English player in this England team, we ain't gonna win nothing.
He's not getting in over Bellingham. He's not getting in over Rice. He's not getting in over Maddison.
Foden, if you want to play him in that role.
Yeah, he's not getting in over Calvin Phillips.
I don't understand all this. Like, everyone's going, oh yeah, he's playing really well. He should start. Like, why are we playing players out of form? Right, so you're telling me, right, Wayne Rooney's had a bad half a season. England fixtures come up halfway through a year. You ain't picking him. Of course you're picking him.
Yeah.
Of course you're picking him because he's a better footballer. It doesn't matter about. I don't get this. Oh yeah, but he's in form. He's doing really well. I'm telling you right now, if Lewis Dunk, James Ward-Prowse as starters are in this England team, we ain't going to win nothing. No way. Not a chance.
Yeah, I agree.
And I just don't get it. If someone has one good game now and everyone's like, oh, we should play for England. No, we shouldn't.
But where was, last season Arsenal had a very good season, didn't they? Before that, Arsenal were doing typical Arsenal things, right? No one was calling for Saka to be dropped. are they?
No. The one I don't get who should be playing every single week in this England team is Ben White. Him and Stone's centre backs.
Yeah, there's something going on there, though, isn't there? Like,
yeah, Southgate doesn't like him, or because
we
Ben
fell
White
out.
doesn't watch football, does he? I think that's it. He doesn't watch. He doesn't like football. He doesn't watch football.
He's just good at it.
So he's got no interest in football. It doesn't mean you can't play football. Southgate's
No.
obviously got a big issue with him. And people are clambering for Lewis Dunk and the geezer at Palace. What's his name? Guy?
Yeah.
Mate, they ain't world class international players.
You've got Tomori. I'll take Tomori over Dunk. Just, yeah.
That's the one. Why is not people screaming for Ben White to be brought back in the team? The actual defender, he's a fucking good player.
Contending for, yeah. You've got the two centre-backs contending for the league, Ben White and John Stones.
But you're clamouring for Lewis Dunk because you don't like Harry Maguire. But everyone's thinking, oh, no, Ben White's a right back now. He's not. He's a centre-back. He can play that role with his eyes closed. Him and Stones, Walker, and you've got Shaw, if he's fit.
Chilwell, wouldn't it be? Probably.
Shaw, Walker, Stones, Ben White. Unbelievable defence. But nah, let's get Lewis Dunk in because he's such a world-class player and will definitely win a World Cup with Lewis Dunk and James Ward-Prowse.
I think that's going to annoy me as well. Is they're going to it's going to be people clamouring for Trent to come into the team again, aren't they? As well. And
I'll tell you what, when I was looking at the centre midfield, I think if there's an injury there or something like that, say if Rice gets injured, I'd pick Trent over James Ward-Prowse in the centre midfield.
To be fair, I probably would. I've got nothing against James Ward-Prowse.
Neither have I. I don't really. I don't know the guy.
He's a mid-table player.
He's got blokes he's just got relegated. He scores a couple of free kicks now and again.
Relegated though, so I don't think you can use that.
Yeah, but the guy also scored 10 goals last year with another 8 assists or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
I mean, James Ward-Prowse is a very average footballer, and if we are begging for James Ward-Prowse to be in an England squad, this is not even go to the Euros.
Yeah, no, do you know what? I think it's just people getting their backs up. They don't agree with Southgate making. I think it's all just started with the Harry Maguire thing. I think it's just kind of blown out of control. Like you said, this Jordan Henderson thing is absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Yeah. But like you said, you're telling me, right? Gareth Southgate rings you up on the blower, and he's like, "Oh, I want you to come and play for England." Nah. You've heard Facebook; they don't want me there.
Yeah.
I'm going to
Dave down the road said, "I can't play." It's just stupid. I did see a couple of people say it was because of the LGBT thing that he was an ambassador for that, then went to Saudi.
Just don't bring politics into it.
Yeah, just a quick one as well on that. Doesn't make you change your beliefs because you play in a different country or you've got a job in another country. That doesn't mean you just become a homophobe. Okay, he still very much believes in equal rights. He's just getting paid and doing right for his family as he's coming to retirement age. Also, I thought football was for everyone. No,
not.
It's inclusive. Football is inclusive for everyone, apart from if you don't believe in their faith or their beliefs or in our beliefs. People have their own law. Like, I don't agree with it, but it doesn't mean they shouldn't be able to play football or get slammed because someone goes over and plays football there. And one more quick thing on this, this inclusive stuff. England ain't much better. Why do you think that there is not one gay Premier League player, or not openly Premier League gay? Because you'd get absolutely abused on the stands. Not by me, not by Tom, but there's people that would abuse it. So don't be thinking like, oh yeah, no, we really believe it. There ain't one player came out because of the reason he would get abused. So maybe let's sort ourselves out before having to go at Papa Henderson just for playing football in another country. Yeah. That's all I wanted to say on that. Go on, Tom. Would you have a look?
I can't actually remember what I was actually going to go off of now, but But I saw some people say, they were booing Southgate, but why do it at the time Henderson's coming off? If you want to boo Southgate, But these are the same people that are singing Southgate, you're the one.
But they also booed him coming off. You want him to come off. You didn't want him to play. Just idiots.
Absolute spanners, I swear to God.
Idiots. And some bloke was like, "Oh yeah, you'll just want to say what the media says or something like that." It doesn't even make sense. It's like it's nothing to do with that.
You said when people are going over to Saudi, it's typical English. Ronaldo goes over there, go, one of the greatest. Benzema goes over there, yeah, good player. Neymar goes over there. Oh yeah, I just got loads of goals over there. Henderson goes over there. Boo.
I mean, every single one of these people moaning would do it for a quarter of the money he's getting. A quarter. And it wouldn't make them homophobic or just stop their beliefs because they're getting paid to go and play football in another country. You still believe all that stuff.
It's the exact same reason
your family out.
Oscar or Hulk, they were going over to China a few years back. The money is immense, and 1 season, 2 seasons over there, you're set for life.
Your grandkids are set for life. Their grandkids are set for life. But
I don't like the fact that these players, you can't really see them in the Champions League or anything like Neymar and Ronaldo. But at the same time, you understand why they do it.
100%. Even though Neymar's just got like a really, really bad injury, isn't he?
Yeah.
And at his age, he might not even come back. Might be the last we see of Neymar. But that'll be for another show. We're going to wrap this one up.
You said you wanted to say
36 minutes on the clock.
About Bex before we close.
What's that?
You said you want to say a bit about Bex before we close. So.
Oh yeah, just about the documentary. I watched it the other day. And it just, like we were just saying, so underrated as a football player. Mugged off by many people as well. The way Glenn Hoddle treated him.
Do you know what I was going to say?
Jesus.
I'm only halfway through episode 2 at the minute. But I think that documentary itself sums up English supporters. Do you know these people that are booing Maguire? Doing things? Yeah. And they say on there, like the paparazzi that are on there, they say times have changed. Have they?
No.
Have they really? No. People are more aware of things, but they've not changed. They've not changed at all. People will bring Maguire down until he's on his knees. Until he quits football, probably. Until he retires from international football.
He gets death threats and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because he's being picked to play football.
Yes,
it just doesn't make sense. They're not football fans, though, are they? Like Harry Maguire said, you're not football fans. You're idiots.
It's
booing people because they are picked to play football. No, I can't play football because old Scott on TikTok he said no. He said I should retire. Yeah, dickheads, idiots. But there we go. There's our little rant. Just stop booing your own, all right? Boo Southgate. He's picking them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
But that was death threats. It's horrible.
Got a bit heated at the end there. It was a nice little podcast, and the last 10 just went off a little bit. But big news is Football Manager is back. And Club Bruges, they're going straight to the top. Right, so anyway, we'll be back Monday, I believe, with the regular longer Football Feast extra podcast. Andrew will be back with his FPL next week because Premier League is finally back. And then me and Tom are back on for Thursday, 8:30.
Thursday.
And it will be an African Premier League 11. I'm actually looking forward to that one. I was having a look earlier, and there's just some crazy players have played. Some crazy good players have played in that league. A lot of them in the same position as well.
Defence is always the hardest to get in.
Yeah, but a lot of them in the same position. So it will be interesting to see who gets in and who doesn't. So yeah, so join us next Thursday for that. Any parting words, Tom, before we go?
No.
No, just stop booing your
No.
own players.
Yeah, just stop being a fucking idiot.
There you go. You heard it from Tommy himself. His final words, gracious words. Stop being a fucking idiot. And with that, we're out.
Wow.
See you next week.